World War II shelter hack that outsmarted bombs, rain, and time still works better than modern gear. When rain turned the battlefields of Europe into rivers of mud and fire fell from the sky, World War II soldiers faced a nightmare no tarp or tent could fix. Everything leaked, froze, or collapsed. Yet, in the middle of that chaos, a handful of exhausted, mud-covered men pulled off something extraordinary. They created a shelter so durable and weatherproof, it still beats modern tarps today. It wasn't made in a lab or designed by generals. It was built from dirt, ash, and raw survival instinct. By 1942, both Allied and Axis forces had learned a brutal lesson. Standard tarps were useless on the front lines. Once soaked, they sagged under their own weight, tore apart in freezing winds, and sometimes froze solid overnight. Trenches became graves of ice-cold sludge, morale sank, and soldiers called their makeshift shelters death sheets. Frontline engineers, the unsung problem solvers of war, started paying attention to how old-world builders kept their homes dry long before plastic or nylon existed. They studied the way traditional clay ovens and cob houses handled moisture, using layers that absorbed, sealed, and reflected heat in cycles. Here's how they did it. First, they made a simple arch-shaped frame using flexible wood like willow or hazel. It didn't have to be perfect, just strong enough to hold a few layers of earth. Then came the magic formula, a mix of clay and wood ash. The ash wasn't filler, it was key. It tightened the clay as it dried, absorbed moisture, and made the structure fire-resistant. So here's the thing. Most modern tarps rely on surface tension. Once they're punctured or stretched, they just, lose their waterproof seal instantly. The sealed earth method was honestly a lot smarter. It didn't rely on tension at all. Instead, it relied on redirection and absorption. And what those soldiers stumbled upon by necessity, modern architects now call thermal mass sheltering. It's the principle that Earth itself can store, regulate, and release heat naturally, acting as both insulation and protection. You don't need a war or a military engineer's badge to use this method today. Off-grid builders, survivalists, and preppers are quietly reviving this forgotten design. You can build your own sealed earth shelter using nothing more than local clay, wood ash, and a strong fabric like canvas. The true genius behind this wasn't just the design. It was the mindset. Those soldiers didn't have supply chains or blueprints. They had a shovel, a bit of wax, and the determination to survive. So, next time you see an old photo of soldiers sitting dry in a muddy trench while rain pounds above, remember this. It wasn't luck. It was knowledge, layered in clay, ash, and courage.